Hello once again, everyone. Welcome to Kholusia's Purgatory. I'm your host, Kholusia X. Alongside me, Dark Cloud Man.
Doritos?
And Arya Stormborn.
Hello.
When we last left off in the Shadowbringers storyline, Alice had returned to the Crystarium to discuss how best to hurt the light. But we still have one more twin to track down, so we're gonna talk to the Crystal Exarch and continue with the journey. You'll visit Alphinaud and Kholusia then. Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you'll need a mount capable of making the journey. Here is the letter of introduction, presented to Sezem Genmai, the Master of Beasts at Tememo's Rookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphinaud, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Alright, Tememo's Rookery. There he is.
Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an amaro for passage to Kholusia. I will pick you out a friendly whelp.
Amaro are often used for travel then?
That's right. Mounts like my grey friend over there are a common sight in these parts. But I gather you hail from further afield, more accustomed to chocobos perchance. I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zun worthy of the name could do it. But the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts.
Alright. Let's head to the Amaro launch. Don't know why we had to go all the way there, though. There he is.
You want to fly in amaro to Kholusia? Well, I suppose if Master Genmal is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mount shortly.
You can now travel to Kholusia. Speak with the aspiring Amaro tamer to fly to the island.
I'll be right back.
Okie doke.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
And here we are.
We are arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern coast of Kholusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people that you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance? That is Yulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale, and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Yulmoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority. And while we are not at war, our relationship with Yulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I am glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely.
Of course.
If you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name Eivor. Eivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Kholusia, and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme. That will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with the Amaro until you are ready to return.
Alright, let's ride. Really? You want to do this? Okay. Hey, I can always use the experience, so don't. Is that a Goobu? So even Goobus thrive here. Somehow. I am still trying to figure out this whole combat system. There he is.
What are you after? Fish? Crab? think I've got a needle in a barrel somewhere if you've got if you have a taste for them. Ooh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in the pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. Now, what is it I can do for you? Can't say as there's been many major upsets to report these last few weeks. Alphinaud, eh? I know the one. A young champion of the downtrodden. Umore's richer than all of Norvrent put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere quiet. To meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Eel. Wait there and I'll see that Alphinaud joins you.
The Leaky Eel, huh?
Is it just me? Or does Gabor look like...
Kimari?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably a Ronso.
That's it.
There are two types of that's one of the new races.
I know.
Alright, first we'll attune to the Aetheryte. And make our way to the Armoro Keep. Hey, it's the tiger version of the Hulk. Anyway. Here we are. Where's the... There it is. See, this is why I don't use my companion. This your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What'll you be having? Mead. A fine choice. And what'll you be paying with? Oh no, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear, I don't doubt they have value. But I don't have a touchstone to test their purity. And I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to some other arrangement. Ah, here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables. But lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find, then visit the caretaker and give him an earful for me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me, and you can laze about here as long as you like. Okay, now this music is reminding me kind of reminding me a little bit Golden Sun-ish, you know? And I just realized that neither one of you has ever played Golden Sun before, probably.
Say what? Yeah. It's been a while, but...
I used to love Golden Sun. That was like my go-to game when it came to the Game Boy Advance.
I wish I knew where mine was.
What, your Game Boy Advance?
Yeah. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm pissing.
No response. Maybe you need to knock louder. Perhaps the occupant is hard of hearing.
Who, you?
No. No, I'm talking about the... Oh. You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence.
Okay, I like what they've done with Mahjong.
What have they done?
So now when you're playing on the space where you are, they have your they show your character next to your
Oh yeah, I read about that.
next to the spot,
Yeah.
and it's like emotionalized, and
Yeah.
I like it.
Welcome back,
Better than
dear.
staring at a
Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town, outside Yulmore? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And there I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Well, well. Look at him rocking a poncho.
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Long time. Miss me, kid?
Tis good to see you, my friend.
You too, Alphinaud.
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphinaud, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
Yeah, the game's back
Seems an
together.
age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been
Indeed.
even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Me, I was more worried about you.
Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Well, we fought the Guardians to a standstill, then everything else happened.
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Hey, I've been looking forward to this since it was announced. Let's go! I've been down since day one.
Ish.
And so we take to the road once more.
All right. Nah, I probably shouldn't play it. Lest we incur a copyright infringement.
Yeah, please no.
Anyways, let's continue on. Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Yulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come. From here we must head west, then cross a small bridge. Alright. Let's ride. Kholusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar? I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No! Get away from me! Over there! Quickly! Someone's in trouble!
I'm back.
Welcome back. How appropriate for the music, though. Oh, thank the fates. Look out! My part! Thank you, young sir! Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings. But I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my own house behind and queue up outside Yulmore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now, I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. 'Tis as the lady says. Many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Not much. Ah, yes, LSA would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared with Amareng, Kholusia is almost a haven. But as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived but a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim. Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Alright, we're on the road again. And back on the mount. Here we are.
Kind of looks like a weird version of Pascal from Rapunzel, Tangled.
Huh. What, you mean Yulmore?
That gate up ahead is known as the
No,
Open
the
Arms,
lizard thingy you were
and
Oh.
Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
What the
He's
crap?
not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
Oh god, this is gonna be irksome. Oh my god, they used the Calcabrina song for this.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy. Even on days when fish is not on the menu! Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself.
Why is there
or
a
another.
blue and
We
red
might not
clown?
at all.
Okay, I see what Kelly means.
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the City of Splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
Oh my god, this rhyming couplet is going to...
Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident.
Oh my god.
For you. Enjoy.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gate Town, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, that's not freaky at all. Alright, let me check the chat log right quick. Yeah, well. Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via a contest with the ever-changing rules. They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Eulmore's current ruler came into power. Yet from what I've seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I have tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall upon deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that... Well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. Alright, let's take a look-see around.
Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Eulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, aye, but at least it's safe. And the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted.
Yeah, but I've had better food. A large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks, meal, you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. I love this new arrow they have on the mini-map, though. It does serve to assist in some ways. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of the life that awaits for me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? Hey, yeah. You seen what Gate Town has to offer? These people can no longer fend for themselves. They've become dependent on handfuls of meal, and believe Eulmore is the answer to all their woes. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable to conceive of any other way of life. Well, we got another coffer here. The White Oak Waist Gear coffer, which gives us a deep gold plate belt of fending, which I will proceed to piss away by wearing the Evolution Knight's belt. You disapprove of Eulmore. 'Tis difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's inner workings. Mayhap it is that uncertainty which always makes me feel so ill at ease here. Not that it matters. However unjust this system seems to me, if these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forego Yumo's largesse are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the land are left empty and unattended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I am not convinced that Yumo's generosity truly serves the best interests of Kholusia's people. I am not so naive as to think there is some miraculous solution to all of this. Yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Yumo's gates. 'Tis fortunate that you arrived when you did, Chris. I have been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There is a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island. The Ondo, they are called, though you and I know them as Sahagin. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos, and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as Totaro took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular, and when I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Yumoran lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Yes, I have come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. Reference to Stormblood there. My appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first, then. We must pay a visit to Mosha Moa, my supplier in Right. Come. It is just to the northeast of here. Northwest, but... Someone's spying on us. Great. Okie doke. And here we are. All right. Let's talk to Mosha Moa. Is there something I can do for you, friend? Good day to you, Mosha Moa. This is my associate, Chris. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Eh? I loaded your lackey up with the goods not long ago. My lackey? I know of no such person. Mr. Lad? Short blue hair? No? He said he'd come on your behalf, and since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed.
Confound it. Someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation.
If this charlatan was here not long ago, he cannot have gone far. We should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point on the south side of town, and I shall take the west.
Of course someone would be spying on us.
We weren't exactly keeping it subtle. Oh, will you give me more of a challenge than just hitting me with slow? Actually put a dent in my armor, God! It's all becoming a little bit too easy, you know?
Yeah, you say that now.
Search the surroundings for a male mistel with short blue hair. You may move the cairn. There you are, you little fucker. I have you now. Chris, any sign of him? You have a keen eye. Let's move in before he makes good on his escape. Okay, I don't mind this music as much as I have previous expansions. I could do without all the snare drum, though.
There you are. The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
Tugging at the heartstrings here.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear. Must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
What's that look, Alphinaud?
That was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmoran's interest.
you'll give me your place. Just like that.
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kai Xie, it was the difference between life and death. I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
Oh. Quite possibly, meaning we'd better hurry up and think of a new plan.
Indeed. We will find another way. I promise you. Shall we return to Rite then? Is that?
Is what?
I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble. Come on, they may need our help.
I have a feeling I'm gonna have more nightmares after this particular quest. That should take care of the worst of his injuries. Mercy! Mercy, I beg you! Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. The poor man is shivering. Pray, keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever to repay this kindness? We'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Tristol. I was invited into Yulmore to work as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them. But when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless. A grave sin in Lord Varthi's city. Within days, they had brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the gods' damned ocean. From up there? How are you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. If you hadn't found me when you did, it wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous. And the citizens condone such barbaric punishment. Oh, without a second thought. When Lord Vothery passes his judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Yulmore, his word is law. The more I hear about Yulmore, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. But first, we should convey Tristal to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. Away into the city. We heading back to... Yeah, I'll take the Ethernet to right. You go to Limsa, yeah, lower decks. Pray, accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And if you'll permit me, I would assist you in your attempt to enter Yulmore, insofar as I am able at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach. But since it's plain you've your mind set on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Yulmoran elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want. And if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. Are you certain? This is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I can't. I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't stay long in this place. Not with that city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to new lands and a new profession. And I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. Alright. Let's get in there. Well, let's take one more quick break. This will be the last break we do for the day, and we'll return with more. Until then, that's it for this episode of Cruznik's Purgatory. A special thank you to Arya Stormborn and Dark Cloudman for joining us.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the show. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live at PlayStation and you like this show, click the follow button. Be sure to turn on notifications so you're informed of all of my live streams and videos the moment they air. And subscribe to me for exclusive content. If you're watching me on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me. Click here to watch the next episode of Shadowbringers. And click here to watch the previous one. Until next time, Cruznik X, signing out.